Hey everybody, this is Mitch. I wanted to show you a little project I did yesterday for my wife, who is a teacher, and she took a couple years off and is going back to school, and she needs to prepare her room, and she has some whiteboards that she wants to put labels on. So I know no problem there, I can do that. So I got to thinking about it, and like I could just print some little small little sign out, so not a big deal at all. So they're literally called board 1 through board 8. And I was like, okay, I've got this done. Now what I need to do is just draw me a small rectangle, and then I can move it up to where they touch, and that will put them all together. And then I select both of them and group them or combine them, and now I have one piece. I said that should do it just fine. And then I started cutting it out and realized that as soon as I cut out things, they just fell down. And so like, well, that's not going to work, because all the pieces that make up the actual letter shapes are going to be we're going to have to put a back on this, and the idea was to just have one piece. So I got to thinking about it, and I thought this is not a new problem that people have solved. So this is an old problem people have solved. So I'm going to undo my join there, or my combine, and I'm going to change my font. So the default was Lato or Lato, and what I'm going to change it to is a stencil font. Now we have the default stencil font built in here. It's kind of thick, and I think a while ago I got a different one. I think I got it off of Creative Fabrica. Oops. It's called Stardo Stencil. It's a little bit more modern. So the purpose of a stencil is to have enough of a letter so you can see what it is, but have it either connected or disconnected so that none of the pieces fall out. And so this worked out actually better for me, because what I did here is let me unlock this. I just made my rectangle bigger, and then I put the word in the middle, and then I'm going to select both of these and then align the center. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, so the word board 1 will be cut out, and then I'll put a backing color on it, and that will allow us to have just one single piece for the board. So move that to cut. And then this is just, by the way, this is just the rosewood MDF. It's just MDF with like a layer on top and bottom. It's not actually a real rosewood or real wood, to be quite honest. It's just MDF. So I'm going to cut this out and then show you what it looks like on the back end. Be right back. Okay, we're back. So sorry for the not angle there, and as you notice, I had to do this twice because the first time my setting was incorrect and didn't cut through. So anyway, so here is the finished product. You can kind of tell by the outline, and then as I mentioned, I just taped on some colored cardstock to the back, and that completes our sign. So the reason I'm going through all this and wasting your time possibly is don't overthink things. Go with what works. This was really simple. Like I said, I wasted about 2 minutes trying to figure out how can I fix this thing, and it just occurred to me, wait a minute, we have stencil fonts, let's just use that. And you don't have to use a stencil font. There are a lot of fonts that are actually connected, but in this case, this is for a 5th grade. We don't want, fancy writing and stuff like that. We want stuff that's very, very simple to understand. So just keep that in mind as you're working too. That's about it. Thanks for staying.